Have you ever pondered about the significance of blessings and the power they carry along? Welcome to our conversation today as we delve into Genesis chapter 48. Our story begins with Jacob, the patriarch, a man who has walked many miles in faith, now finds himself bedridden, nearing the end of his earthly journey. As the sun dips below the horizon, whispering the promise of another dawn, Joseph, his beloved son, receives the news. Accompanied by his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, Joseph rushes to his father's side. The air in the room is thick with anticipation and a profound sense of love. The news reaches Jacob's ears. Joseph has come. With a strength born of deep affection and determination, Jacob gathers himself, sitting upright in his bed, ready to receive his son and grandsons. As we see, Jacob's love for Joseph transcends beyond his son, extending to his grandsons. But what happens next? Now imagine being blessed by your grandfather. Not just any blessing, but one that would shape the course of your life and generations to come. Picture this scene from Genesis chapter 48, where Jacob, also known as Israel, is on his deathbed. His sight is failing, but his spirit is as strong as ever. Jacob begins to recount to his son Joseph the divine promises that were made to him at Luz. He speaks of the land that would belong to his offspring, the blessings that would multiply like the stars in the sky. All these were assurances given by God himself. As Joseph listens, he brings forth his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, to receive their grandfather's blessing. Imagine Joseph's sons standing there, wide-eyed and full of anticipation. Jacob, in his frail state, asks Joseph who these young men are. Upon hearing that they are his grandsons, Jacob requests to bless them. Now take note, in those times the firstborn son was traditionally given the greater blessing. This was the custom, the norm, the expected course of action. But here's where it gets interesting. As Jacob extends his hands to bless the boys, he deliberately crosses his arms, placing his right hand on the younger Ephraim's head and his left on Manasseh, the elder. This intentional act, this swapping of hands, is no mistake. Jacob is not confused nor disoriented. He is fully aware of what he is doing. He is bestowing the greater blessing on the younger Ephraim, a move that goes against tradition and expectation. In a surprising turn of events, Jacob gives the greater blessing to the younger grandson, Ephraim. This was not an accident, but a purposeful act. But why? Have you ever wondered about the implications of a promise that transcends generations? In Genesis chapter 48, such a promise comes to light. Jacob, the patriarch of the Israelites, is on his deathbed, his son Joseph by his side. Aware of his impending departure from this world, Jacob makes a profound request of Joseph. He does not wish to be buried in the land of Egypt, where he has spent the latter part of his life. Instead, he yearns for his final resting place to be with his ancestors. Joseph, the dutiful son, gives his word. He promises his father that he will ensure Jacob's remains are returned to the ancestral lands. This promise is not simply about fulfilling a father's last wish. It is about honoring a lineage, a heritage that stretches back to the very roots of the Israelite nation. But the promise made in this poignant scene is not the only pivotal moment. Jacob, drawing on the wisdom of his years and the insight of his faith, prophesies the future of Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. He predicts that they will multiply abundantly in the midst of the earth. This prophecy is not just a father's wish for his grandsons. It is a vision of a future where their descendants will grow and flourish, becoming a major force in the world. Jacob's prophecy is more than just a prediction. It is a promise that sets the course for the future of his descendants. His words lay the foundation for the greatness of Ephraim and Manasseh, and by extension the Israelite nation. This promise, made on a deathbed, echoes through generations, shaping the destiny of a people. And thus a father's blessing becomes a prophecy, a promise that shapes the destiny of his descendants. This is the power and mystery of Genesis chapter 48.